There are many ways that the prepared environment helps the child develop movement. One of those is a technique we used called analyzed movements. And when we're using this technique, we're taking an activity and we're breaking it down into all of those smaller component movements. This allows the child to really see what we're doing. When we are using this technique, we are slowing down our movements. It's not going to be robotic, but it's going to be slow and graceful so the child can see. And this takes practice with the materials to become very natural at. We also incorporate pauses into our presentations, and we use these pauses at points of interest or these points of consciousness where we really want to draw the child's eye and the child's mind to a specific moment in the presentation. Usually this is a moment of particular difficulty that we want to highlight. We also use economy of movement. We are not going to use any movement in a presentation that the child is not going to need to perform that action. Anything extra that we offer would be considered superfluous movement or movement that is unnecessary. We also have to make sure that we are only offering movements that are replicable. This means the child has to be able to replicate any movement that we're offering them. If we are offering movements that the child can't perform themselves, we are becoming an obstacle for the child to be successful with that activity. And lastly, we minimize our talking. We only offer the child the words that are absolutely necessary for the presentation. We know that in order for a child to create movement, they have to see the movement. Our words become an enormous distraction that is unnecessary in many of our presentations. There are so many opportunities for conversation and language in the classroom, but quite often, many presentations don't require it. The concept of freedom of movement is another way that we can support the child's development of movement. And with this, a child first can decide where it is they want to work. They can work at a table, they can work at the floor, but it's up to them to make that decision in the moment of where they're going to be most comfortable. We also utilize that limit of one at a time. So when a child takes one at a time, we are offering them more opportunity to refine their balance and equilibrium as well as their controlled movement. Think of those sensorial materials that have 10 parts like the pink tower. It requires 10 trips to the material and back to the rug to take it out to do the work, and then the reverse, 10 trips back to the shelf to get the material put away. The child also has the freedom to select their work. This could be work from the shelf or walking on the line. They can go outside to do their work. But we remember that there is movement incorporated into every single exercise that we offer the child. So whatever they choose is helping them to develop and refine their movement. You can see there are many, many ways that we can help to foster this development of movement in the classroom. As the adult, there are ways that you personally can help support the child's development of movement in the classroom. Of course, you're using all of the elements included in analyzed movement in your presentations, but remind yourself that you are the model for movement in the environment, and that the children are not only watching you, but they're absorbing all of the movements that you make. So make sure that you are walking in the classroom, that you're pushing in your chair and moving in ways that we are asking the children to move, that you are graceful and using controlled movement. You're taking objects one at a time and using care in handling them. And then lastly, being mindful of how many words we're using when we're giving a presentation. Remember, they're watching us. They don't need to hear us. There are so many ways that the prepared environment not only supports the child's development of movement, but that we as the practitioner can also help them as well.